Welcome to Eternelle Amor. Today, we're diving into something that will change the way you look at your relationship. Have you ever wondered if your partner or the guy you have been seeing for a couple of months is serious about you? Well, we've got the ultimate guide to unravel the mysteries of love, and we have enlisted the help of none other than the incredible dating expert and relationship guru, Matthew Hussey. Matthew Hussey is a true game changer when it comes to matters of the heart. His best-selling book Get the Guy, electrifying seminars, and empowering advice have transformed countless lives of women to find love and build lasting connections. Keep watching because number 4 is a shocker that you won't want to miss. So whether you're single and searching or already in a relationship, get ready to be enlightened. Let's get started.
Number 1, he brags about you in front of other people. It's a particular kind of compliment, isn't it? When someone doesn't just compliment you in private, but they do it in front of others, their friends, their family, strangers that you just met together. It shows a particular kind of respect and admiration. So if he starts bigging you up in front of other people, that's a pretty lovely sign. Number 2, he's willing to mix your lives in a way that might be inconvenient to him, whether it's going to see your friends in a different part of town or going to something that your family wants you to go to, things that ordinarily might seem like sacrifices, but he doesn't treat them as sacrifices. Instead, he just sees them as things that will make you happy, and therefore it makes him happy to do them. Which leads me nicely on to number 3. Your happiness is more important to him than his tastes. He buys you tickets to that Celine Dion concert that you really want to go to. But the 2 tickets are for you and him, not you and your friend. He's willing to go see Celine. Or he listens to your music in the car. You have no idea how many times I've listened to the Encanto album through. Number 4, he starts collecting mementos from your time together. Could be a trip you went on, it could be an evening you had together where they gave you something in a restaurant, but these little knickknacks that are the milestones of your relationship he keeps because it matters. It becomes part of the fabric, the history of your relationship together. Not everyone is sentimental like this, but you know what it's like when you care about someone, you're more likely to hold on to something as a symbol of your time with that person, as something that reminds you of that person or a time in the relationship. If he starts getting sentimental about things from your relationship together, that counts for something. Number 5, he plans a trip with you months in advance. Anyone can take you away for the weekend this weekend, but for someone to actually say, let's plan a trip for a few months from now, you know at the very least they're planning on being with you longer. They're actually looking at investing and building something in the meantime. Number 6, he respects the things that are important to you. I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and there was a woman in this class who had just got her black belt. And when someone gets their black belt, they get to give a speech. And it was very beautiful because while she was giving her speech, all of us were lined up listening, and her husband was off to the side of the mat watching with their dog in his arms and just his eyes watering at watching this person he loves achieve this amazing thing. So, and there was something profoundly beautiful to me about that he both respected and admired her for something that mattered to her and was part of that with her. Number 7, the fights have less ultimatums. You know that when you're in the beginning with someone and just sort of every fight is relationship threatening. It doesn't matter what you argue about, it's always a question in that moment of, is this all too much? Is this worth it? Are we really, maybe I'll just storm out and never come back. Well, hopefully over time, the threats on the relationship become less. You don't walk away so easily. And in fact, someone who's serious about you has a desire to make up with you quicker because the health of the relationship is paramount to them. And simply walking off and being at odds with you and having the problems of the relationship fester becomes a less and less viable option. Number 8, when he stops worrying so much about missing out on other plans because he's happiest when he's spending time with you. FOMO becomes FOMO. Oliver Burkeman talks about the problem of FOMO in his book 4,000 Weeks, where he talks about this idea that we're all worried about missing out on things, and by definition, we are always missing out on everything all the time. And when someone's not particularly happy in a situation, or when they've got one foot out of the door, they're acutely aware of all of the things that they're missing out on in that moment. The party that their friends invited them to, the boys' trip that they could have gone on, the family event that's happening, or just the myriad things that he could be doing that aren't being with you in this moment. But that fear of I'm missing out on everything becomes irrelevant in the context of someone that you're building something with, someone that makes you happiest when you're with them. The everything becomes the feeling that you have when you're with them. So you're no longer searching for the everything that's on the outside.